The entire planet has got football fever right now as the 2022 World Cup kicked off on Sunday, November 20th. Today we are going to review the first round of the group games and see where all of the teams rank after the first round. I can admit that some of my predictions didn't quite go to plan. Did you predict many of these results? Before, please like and share the video, subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon for more updates. Group A, Qatar vs Ecuador. The host nation Qatar kicked off this World Cup on the 20th of November against South American opposition, Ecuador. Ecuador thought they had taken an early lead in the 5th minute through Inter Valencia, but it was ruled out for offside. No matter, the frontman Valencia was played through on goal and was brought down by Qatar's goalkeeper for a penalty. Valencia took the penalty himself and scored the first goal of the 2022 World Cup. Valencia then doubled his and his country's goal tally by scoring again in the 31st minute to make it 2-0 to Ecuador, and that is how the game ended. Qatar became the first World Cup host to lose their first match in the tournament. Senegal vs Netherlands. This was a slow game, with both teams showing nerves. It took until the 84th minute for the first goal to be scored by Cody Gakpo with an excellent finish. Then in the 9th minute of injury time, as Senegal were pushing forward for a late equalizer, the Dutch team countered, and it was finished by Davy Klaassen, who doubled the Dutch lead. Group B, England vs Iran. England kicked off their World Cup campaign against an Iran side who have some talented forward players and are known to be resolute at the back. A young star in the making, Jude Bellingham rose in the 35th minute to meet Luke Shaw's cross and fire England in the lead. From that point onwards, it was all England, with Saka scoring twice, Sterling, Rashford, and Grealish all on the scoresheet. Mehdi Taremi scored twice, but they were the most consolation goals. The final result was 6-2 in favor of the Three Lions, and a good way to start. Wales vs USA. This was a much tight game with the Americans slight favorites. They made their presence known early on, and just before halftime, they opened the score through Timothy Weah, with Christian Pulisic getting the assist. The Welsh battled hard and got rewarded for their fight in the 82nd minute when Gareth Bale was fouled in the penalty area. He took the penalty himself and won a point for his country. Group C, Argentina vs Saudi Arabia. One of my favorites to win the World Cup, Argentina, was in action against Saudi Arabia on Tuesday morning. Indeed, Argentina was the heavy favorite to win this game, with not many people giving Saudi Arabia much of a chance, but how wrong we all were. Argentina won a penalty early on, and Lionel Messi slotted it home to make it 1-0 to Argentina. But the Saudis came out in the second half with something to prove. They equalized in the 48th minute through Salah Al-Shehri with a well-worked move. Just 5 minutes later, Salem Aldosari produced a moment of history with a fantastic finish to put Saudi Arabia ahead in the game. For the rest of the match, Argentina did their best but could not break Saudi Arabia down, who held on for their most historic victory to date. Mexico vs Poland. With Saudi Arabia beating Argentina in the early game, this was an excellent chance for one of these teams to put down a marker. Unfortunately, neither team could, and the game ended 0-0. Group D, Denmark vs Tunisia. Opening Group D's fixtures were Denmark and Tunisia. However, this game showed each team's nerves, with not many chances being created. The game ended 0-0. France vs Australia. Another huge favorite to win the competition, France, played their first game against Australia. However, the Australians started very well and took the lead in the 9th minute through Craig Goodwin. However, that seemed to wake the beast up, and by halftime, the French were in the lead through goals from Rabiot and Giroud. Kylian Mbappe then opened his World Cup account in the 68th minute and then turned provider for Giroud's final goal, who was not tied with Thierry Henry as France's top goalscorer. Group E, Germany vs Japan. This was a fantastic game. Germany went in at halftime, winning 1-0 through a penalty from Ilkay Gundogan. In the second half, Japan threw everything at the Germans and got their reward. They equalized through Ritsu Doan in the 75th minute. Some teams may sit back and be happy with a point, but not Japan. they smelt blood and continued to put pressure on Germany. In the 83rd minute, they took the lead through Takuma Asano, and the Japanese fans in the stadium went crazy. Japan managed to weather the late storm from Germany to pull off a historic victory. Spain vs Costa Rica. Spain isn't being hyped a lot for this tournament, but they sure did turn on the style in their opening game against Costa Rica. Goals from Olmo, Asensio, and Ferran Torres with 2, Gavi, Soler, and Morata gave Spain a 7-0 win. It felt bad watching Costa Rica suffer, but the Spanish were ruthless. Group F, Morocco vs Croatia. Not much happened in this game, it finished 0-0. Both teams seemed content with a point. Belgium vs Canada. Another quiet affair, however, Belgium did get the 3 points thanks to Michy Batshuayi just before halftime. Group G, Switzerland vs Cameroon. Many first group games have shown the nerves that a World Cup generates, and this game was no different. It was very tight between both. However, Breel Embolo stepped up to the plate to fire the Swiss to all 3 points. Brazil vs Serbia. There's something special about watching a Brazil team in the World Cup. They bring the color, flair, and atmosphere to a World Cup, and their team can certainly back it up. Serbia is not an easy team to play against and had chances throughout the game, however, this resolute Brazil team managed. In the second half, they came to life, and in the 62nd minute, Richarlison put Brazil in the lead. He then doubled the lead with a breathtaking finish in the 73rd minute, putting Brazil in the driving seat. It wasn't all rosy for Brazil as their talisman, Neymar, hobbled off with an ankle injury. The Brazil team and fans will hope he will be back in action soon. Group H, Uruguay vs South Korea. Two teams with huge quality, but ultimately, they cancelled each other out. Both teams had great chances to tilt the momentum, but they couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. It finished 0-0. Portugal vs Ghana. The first half was nothing to go crazy about in this game, but the second half made up for it with 5 goals. Fresh after his controversial interview, Cristiano Ronaldo won a dubious penalty for Portugal and converted it in the 65th minute. Ghana, however, has a never-say-die attitude and responded quickly through Andre Ayew in the 73rd minute. The game was opening up, and the Portuguese began to find openings, with Bruno Fernandes opening the Ghana defense up by supplying João Felix and Rafael Leo with both of their goals. Portugal was 3-1 up. In the 89th minute, Osman Bukhari got a consolation for Ghana and will surely give them confidence going into the next games. Please don't wait to ask in your comments section if you have any other queries. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Please like and share the video, subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon for more updates.